You're listening to the Secure Dad Podcast. Discover ways to protect yourself and your family at home, in public, and online. Welcome, friend. I'm Andy Murphy, the creator of the Secure Dad. This podcast serves to help people become proactive in their safety. The information I share on this podcast is for general information purposes only. My goal is to empower you to make safer decisions for yourself and your family, because our safety is our own responsibility. Today we're going to be talking about how we can prepare for one of the world's most destructive weather events, a hurricane. All of that and more ahead on the Secure Dad Podcast. When I read about data breaches and how companies are selling and buying our private data, it feels overwhelming. Back in 2018, I saw the future of data brokerage and I realized that I needed to do something. I needed to take action to protect my personal information because it was being sold like never before. That's when I did my research and I joined Delete Me. Delete Me makes it very easy to get started. Once you join, there are a few forms to fill out that will help them search for and find your data being sold online. Then after a few days, you get your first privacy report. They start that fast. Over the past 6 years, I've seen my data deleted from sketchy people search sites. It feels good to know that I am working to protect my digital identity. Once you join, like me, you'll start to see results quickly. See why I find Delete Me essential to my privacy at joindeleteme.com/dad and use promo code DAD to get 20% off a privacy plan today. Delete Me is a sponsor of the Secure Dad Podcast. You've heard me talk about how much I like FlipLock. In less than a second, I can activate it and protect my front door with a device rated for 1,600 pounds of force. The all-metal construction is strong, functional, and looks great on the door. It doesn't look out of place at all. But did you know that FlipLock also has a solution for school classrooms? Anna Rieger, the founder, is a strong advocate for school security and created a version of the lock that works in the classroom. The school lock can withstand more than 3,000 pounds of force and can be used by kids and teachers alike. For more on the device, go to fliplock.com and click on School Safety. FlipLock can protect your family at home and in the classroom. So if you want to take your home and classroom security to the next level, head over to fliplock.com and use the discount code SECUREDAD to get 20% off your entire order. I protect my home with FlipLock, and you can too. As a lifelong resident in hurricane territory, I have weathered a few storms. So I've picked up some tips along the way that I want to share with you to help you reason with the hurricane season. And even if you live outside a hurricane zone, the tips that I'm going to share are going to be good for general emergencies, tornadoes, wildfires, and just about any other large-scale weather emergency that you can think of. So hurricanes are powerful and unpredictable forces of nature that can bring widespread devastation in just a matter of hours. They come with strong winds, storm surge, heavy rainfall, flooding, which can cause significant damage to homes and infrastructure and even lead to the loss of life, unfortunately. That's why it is crucial to be well prepared and well informed. My first tip for hurricane preparedness is to be well informed. Hurricanes can't sneak up on anybody anymore. Thanks to today's technology, we know when they're going to happen. So make sure to monitor weather updates through local news channels and weather stations. And I hate to say it like this, it's a bad pun, but make sure that hurricanes are on your radar during the season. Sorry. Setting up weather alerts on your phone and using X to filter real-time alerts will help you stay ahead of the storm and everybody else. Being prepared for a hurricane takes time and effort, and the more you have of both, the better off you're going to be. You want to start prepping before all of the panicky people who don't know what to do will clog up the roads and the checkout lines. So now let's talk about making preparations to your home. Hurricanes can last for hours, and quite honestly, it'll just feel like days. So you need to make sure that your home is ready for the storm, regardless if you stay in your home or you evacuate. If you are close to the coast, secure your windows and doors by installing storm shutters or using plywood to cover them. This will protect against flying debris and high winds. You need to bring in all of your outdoor furniture and decorations, bring those inside and secure them tightly somewhere. If you are in a floodplain, and you should know that, or at the bottom of the hill, buy sandbags to help keep the water out of your home. If you have solar-powered lights outside of your home, I want you to bring those in too, because they actually make great lighting inside of your home when and if you lose power. Also, something that you can do before the storms arrive is to keep your trees and bushes well trimmed. Overhanging branches can break off during a storm, causing damage to your home or even the power lines nearby. And you don't want to be that guy who is the reason that nobody else on your street has power. So if you have a tree that you're worried might fall in a hurricane, have it removed now before the storm comes. So now let's move on to talking about what you need to have on hand during the storm. Having a well-stocked emergency kit can make a significant difference in your comfort and safety during and after a hurricane. These kits can be used for all sorts of emergencies, and they're just great to have on hand year-round, not just for hurricanes. Prepare a supply kit that includes non-perishable food, water, medications, pain reliever and prescriptions, flashlights, batteries, and first aid supplies. Make sure that your first aid kit is ready to go. I actually want you to check that today. Make a note today before you go to bed. Check on your first aid kit, not just for hurricane preparedness, but just for general preparedness. Make sure everything is in there that you think, and if you need to buy some more stuff, go ahead and get that now. If you don't have a first aid kit, you can get a lot of good ones available on Amazon for in and around $20. Now, one of the things that people really need after a hurricane, and the thing that you're probably going to lose, is water. Stock up early on water because there will be a run on bottled water when the storm is forecasted to hit your area. I also suggest that you fill up a bathtub with water and use that water for cleaning and bathing, not for drinking. For drinking, I want you to fill up every large pot that you can with water, and I want you to use that for cooking and for drinking. You can even freeze bags of water to keep food cold later if your refrigerator stops working. Expect to need water several days after the storm, as there is most likely going to be a boil water advisory if you even have water flowing to your home. Don't just plan for the storm itself, but plan for 2 to 3 days afterward of still needing water. Next, you're going to need to make sure that you have charged all of your communication devices before the storm hits. This means your phones, laptops, iPad, radio, whatever else it is. Communication devices need to be charged first to stay connected to rescue services and also to the rest of your family and your neighbors. Then I want you to charge any power banks that you have. Personally, I have several Anchor power banks that I use all of the time. They're great for all sorts of stuff. Plus, I actually have a portable power station from Bluetti. I think I'm saying that right. It's Bluetti, and it has worked great so far for me. If you have power tools that are cordless, make sure to charge all of your batteries beforehand so that you can use them when you need them. Then I want you to stock up on batteries of all sizes to power flashlights, games, radios, whatever you're going to need. So now let's talk about the big decision that a lot of people have to make during hurricane season, and that is about evacuation. Sometimes the safest option when faced with a large category hurricane is to evacuate. Having a plan in place can make the process smoother and less stressful for everybody involved. In advance, you need to familiarize yourself with the local evacuation routes and know where the nearest shelters are. Keep your vehicle's gas tank half full all the time and have a map handy in case you can't get a GPS signal. If you don't know what your evacuation routes are, then you can Google your state plus evacuation routes, and you should find a formal government evacuation plan. Now, here's my 2 biggest tips on evacuation planning. First, if you think you need to evacuate, go before the government makes it mandatory. If you wait too late, those panicky people are going to clog up the roads, buy all of the gas, and get in everyone's way. You don't want to be in that mess. It is far better for you to leave in less traffic and have more options available to you. Trust me. Second, if you're leaving before everyone else, check all the traffic on the interstates. If you notice an increase in traffic on the interstates, then use secondary roads to get to those same places. Generally, folks will hit the interstate and not look back. But with some careful planning, you can avoid all of that by using the back roads. Now, let's say that you're going to stay home for the storm and that you're prepared. Cool. Now what? Hurricanes are not fun. You can quote me on that. In the South, we make jokes about going out and looking at the storm, and you may see some idiot surfing at the beach. Actually, back in 2019, on a beach in South Carolina out at Myrtle Beach, some hurricane looker got their nice, new red Jeep stuck on the beach just before the storm hit. Then Hurricane Dorian swept it into the ocean. Don't do that. Stay inside. Just stay inside. Once the hurricane hits, you need to stay indoors. High winds and flying debris make it extremely dangerous to be outside. Seek shelter in a small, windowless interior room, such as a bathroom or closet, similar to what you would do during a tornado. This will provide the most protection from wind and flying debris. Stay on the first floor unless flooding becomes an issue, and then move to a secondary location upstairs. You should have plenty of time to prep that space. Move all of your supplies to that room where you're going to start on the first floor. You can keep a mattress in that room or heavy blankets to cover yourself in case the roof or the windows give way and the storm comes inside. I know that sounds terrifying. And if you want to avoid that, I want you to strongly consider evacuating. If you or someone else is in immediate danger, you still call 911. Contact emergency services to report injuries, downed power lines, or significant property damage or damage to infrastructure like a bridge. But it is very important to know that during a hurricane, you will be on your own. At some point, it will be too dangerous to dispatch anybody to come help you. Know that you will have to self-rescue for a while if it's necessary. This is why I encourage people to train in stop the bleed, CPR, and first aid. Hurricanes and storm surge are gnarly and not to be underestimated. But if you prepare, you can mitigate the risk and help your family weather this storm. By following these tips and having a solid hurricane preparedness plan, you can significantly reduce the risk associated with these powerful storms. Remember, preparation and staying informed are key to ensuring the safety of you and your loved ones during hurricane season. If you think you're going to pass out in your hammock and sleep till way past noon, you're not going to be ready for a hurricane. I've written an article about hurricane preparedness that goes over way more stuff than what we have talked about today. In fact, it's not really an article, it's a short book, really. I covered everything that we talked about, plus what to do after the storm and how to document storm damage for insurance. So if you're interested, there is a link in the show notes for you. Well, that is everything that I wanted to cover in today's episode. Thank you, friend, for joining me. Take back your privacy and personal data with help from Delete Me. Get 20% off a privacy plan when using the code DAD at checkout. There's a link in today's show notes to help you get started. Fortify your home with FlipLock. For more, go to fliplok.com and use discount code SecureDad to get 20% off your entire order. If you'd like for your child to have a smartphone but not access to the whole internet, consider a TrueMe phone. My family uses one all the time. Use code TheSecureDad at checkout for $50 off a phone of your choice. For more from The Secure Dad, consider subscribing to the official Secure Dad YouTube channel. There you can watch all of my interviews and find exclusive content. Just search for The Secure Dad the next time you're on YouTube. I'm Andy Murphy, reminding you that our safety is our own responsibility.